We have a special one for you folks. We have the first ever finally working legit podcast setup for you today. So in this episode, we are going to get into this Miro board here. This is my ultimate profit playbook for subscribe and save brands. So if you are a subscribe and save brand, whether you are supplements or CPG or pets or beauty, anything subscribe and save eligible, this is how to dominate Amazon step by step. So we're going to talk about subscribe and save strategy, advertising strategies, things to know, mistakes to avoid, things to watch out for. This morning we had a great kickoff call with a subscribe and save brand or a pet supplements company. Tomorrow we have another kickoff call with an amazing CPG slash supplements company, and we are the subscribe and save experts. We are your Amazon experts. That's what we're going to get into today. And let's switch to full screen here and let's see how we look. Oh yeah, if you haven't noticed, we are in IRL. Actually, I can just show you proof that we are in IRL. I can walk over here and my webcam will follow me over and you can see Dave right there. Oh, nice, nice, nice. So we are here in Austin hanging out in my Airbnb. And hopefully I got the Rodecaster here working. So hopefully the audio is good. It's not going to be perfect. Don't expect setting expectations, right? Setting realistic expectations. Don't expect it to be perfect. But I hope it's better than last time. So anyways, that's the new setup. And we're going to get into the lesson in a bit. If you're watching on YouTube later, you might just be able to skip ahead. But we're just going to chit chat and have some fun before we get into that. And Dave, I haven't told Dave the question. The question of the day that I wanted to ask you, and if it's good, we're going to ask this to all guests that come on, is do you believe in aliens? Why or why not?
Got to. You have to. There's a lot out there.
Yeah.
I would say simple answer, yes. Pretty logic based. There's a lot of space.
Mhm.
You know,
A lot of space out there.
there's a lot of space. We know very little about what is out there. That's yet to be explored. I have never seen one. I've never seen an alien firsthand.
Yeah. There was pretty weird folks at the Comedy Mothership the other day. That's apropos of being at the Comedy Mothership. There's some aliens in there. There's some if you want to see some weird people, go to open mic night at the Comedy Mothership in Austin, Texas. Good old Uncle Joe Rogan's comedy club. They put me there, so that was a bucket list check off. And
That was fun.
yeah.
There were some interesting bits that you reminded me of talking about aliens.
Yeah.
Was the amoeba man, where if you the water, right? The water's got the amoebas in it, and if
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Starting to ring a bell.
where he's like, oh, if you swam in a body of open water lately, then you have the amoebas in you, and the amoebas are controlling your brain. What made the skit so great was he was yelling the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a classic example of a weird person. Yeah. And by the way, this is being live streamed. But for the live stream audio, it's not going to be great because the live stream audio is just going through our MacBooks. But for the recording later, that will have crispy podcast audio. Just FYI. But if anyone does leave a question here on the live stream, we can try to get to it at the end. Okay, I'll go. So I'm a science nerd. I mean, how I look at that question as like, do aliens exist? Well, all we know is what we can observe. And if you look down, you go, oh, yeah, we are aliens. So life exists here. We know that for sure. Does it exist other places? We don't know for sure, but just by doing the calculations and the vastness of the observable universe, it has to. Now, whether it's technology bearing civilizations, that's a whole other discussion, probably. But at the very least, there's going to be some mold, some microorganisms at the very least. Anyways, fun questions.
Of all the animals, plants, all the things that we can observe on Earth, what would you say is the most alien-like?
Oh man, I mean, there's an endless amount. If you just look at the biodiversity in the oceans, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like I was at my grandma's house this summer, and she has a book of the clams of the crustaceans of the Pacific Northwest, and it was just a book about clams. And there's like gazillions of species of clams and oysters and mollusks and limpets and these things have been around for fucking hundreds of millions. And it's like aliens exist here. They exist. They're ants right over there. They're they're octopuses. They're clams. They're sea sponges. Like, it's like we have a planet full of fucking aliens, crazy ones. So it's hard to choose which one is the most alien, but there's some crazy shit out there that we don't even know about.
Everything in the ocean is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. They don't even breathe. They're living underwater. That's pretty alien. Fish. So many types of fish. Very, very peculiar.
Yeah. Evolution is ridiculous. It's one of my favorite subjects, actually. Evolution. It's the greatest story ever told. It's the story of evolution. I should do a video about this one. I would want to do it. It starts with the Big Bang or whatever you want to call it, and then the evolution of the universe, galaxies, and then solar systems, and planets, and then life, and then technology. You could say is life, and then technology, and then what do we have next? I was telling this to my dad the other day. I was like, this is how I think about it. Right now, in our lifetimes, we are entering the next epic of evolution of the universe. We have life and we have intelligent life. And then what are we evolving into that everyone's talking about right now? We have intelligent life. This intelligent life has now invented artificial intelligence. And so the crazy thing is, the form of life that will colonize the solar system and the galaxy first will be artificial intelligence form of life. It will be robots. We've already sent probes out to planets and Jupiter's moons all around the solar system. So if you're an alien, this is exactly what I'm telling my dad. I'm blowing it. If you're an alien looking at our solar system with a telescope, you're seeing these little probes fly across Saturn and stuff, and you're like, oh, what kind of life is that? They're not going to say, oh, that's an unnatural piece of technology. No, they're like, that is it. That's part of us. It's an extension of us. And so we are living the most interesting time ever by far. We are entering the next era of evolution of the universe. We are intelligent life, and we have invented how to procreate artificially. We've already learned how to duplicate our brains inside of the computer. This is AI, LLMs, machine learning. And then soon, Elon Musk is working on it with his Tesla robots, humanoid robots. Tons of companies are working on it. Now we are working on procreating artificially, duplicating our bodies. And then that's going to create a whole separate race, if you want to call it. artificial intelligent beings, if you want to call it. And then that's the whole, and then from there, it's just your imagination. We have artificial intelligence doing what it does. And so we have just, in our lifetimes, taken the next step of evolution and the story of the universe. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. That's what I think about. In case the two people listening didn't know that I was a science nerd. Oh, yeah. So, anywho, that's what's going on in our neighborhood. Anything else going on exciting in your life?
Everything. It's been good being here. Austin, 90 degrees every day. Active. Yeah, it's been good. And then, man, 5 days, and we're heading south for a month. South America, just working normal life, new location, getting back into nomadic routines. And now I'll be getting back traveling more and more next year. Now that my wife can leave the country, she's been locked to America, no leaving. Visa, anything visa related, you can't leave until your stuff is processed. So it's been fun, home base in Texas and all that, but I'm excited to be able to pop out to a couple places, get back to Kazakhstan, and uh, maybe a little bit more time in Brazil.
Heck yeah. Brazil is coming up next week. Oh my gosh. So this will be the last pod in where we're both IRL in the US, at least for a while. Awesome. And then, yeah, go visit Brazil. That's very, very exciting. Coming up next Monday.
Wow.
Coming up soon. All right. Shall we dive into? So we also have another fun development. Amazon corporate has reached out to us and said, "Hey, can you make some videos on some topics?" So the topic that one of the topics was ad campaigns I'd run if I were building a brand in 2025. What is your 3-minute version, Dave, of ad campaigns I would run in 2025 if a brand asked you that on a call? Just what would be your off the cuff summary answer? What would you say?
Yeah. Two different answers. One is if you're brand new to Amazon, and one is if you're established and you've got a brand that's doing a decent amount, at least 20, 30K in revenue. I would call that fairly established so far on Amazon. But if you're brand new, how do you set up your ad campaign in 2025? What do you do? You're launching your product. So sponsored brand video and sponsored products are probably your two main avenues. Not display, not retargeting, none of that stuff. It's simple search-based campaigns, knowing what your top keywords are. So put it in three buckets: high volume, high search volume keywords, uh, long tail, lower search volume but still relevant keywords, and then video. Right. And so 2 out of 3 are search based, where someone will type in a term and you want your product to show up. Ideally, top of search, but if it's too expensive of a keyword, which I'll get into that in a second, but then you want to not bid top of search if it's too expensive of a keyword. But let's say you're launching a door stopper, and that's your product, and you're launching in 2025. Your high volume keyword is going to be door stopper and door stoppers, most likely. That's what most people will most likely type in. But just look in your niche, use Helium 10, Jungle
Yeah,
Scout.
the obvious keyword.
That's your number one thing. Make sure that your product shows up, sponsored products, on those 5 to 10 high volume keywords. I would set that campaign as probably exact match, just so you do, like, you have control over what keywords it's searching. I would do those as a SCAG, which is SCAG is single keyword ad group. So one keyword at a time in each campaign lets you control your bids, control your costs. And then for the long tail is usually better to do broad. And most advanced PPC separated into unigram, bigram, trigram. So one word broad, two words broad, three words broad. So uh, unigram for a product like door stopper would be you bid broad on the term door and on the term stopper. Those ones are a little no, they're kind of weird, but they do work. And then two words, door stopper, door stoppers, and then three words would be stopper for door stopper black, those types of terms. And you set up those to catch long tail, broad, so the bids are lower, and then you can bid up on top searches if you want. And then the third, which is video, I hear different things about video on whether you should do video ads on exact match, phrase match, broad match. Um, in my opinion, I would test and learn because the best practices with a lot of this ad stuff doesn't translate perfectly across every single product, every single price point, every brand. Um, the data will tell you, right? And most of the time, just knowing the difference between broad, phrase, and exact, and then setting your strategies that way. If you're saying, oh, we have a video and we know that it works really well when people type in door stopper, but when people are typing in long tail and like they're saying, door stopper, stainless steel, door stopper, 4-pack, it doesn't work as well, then just do it exactly and make sure that you have under control. But those are the three buckets that I would say. If I was a new brand in 2025, make sure you have sponsored product on the high volume stuff, most important terms. Make sure that you have kind of a catch-all. Make sure that you're hitting all those long-term or long-tail keywords that aren't as high search volume, but still important to show up on. And then video is so, so important. Have a good video. Invest in a decent video production for your launch because a new product with 0 reviews or 5 reviews, think of a sponsored product. The focal point is your listing, and your listing's not fully optimized yet because you don't have reviews. And then the focal point of the video ad is the video, not the listing. And so you're tending to get more traffic, more clicks from your video ads early on compared to sponsored products. Then if you're established, right, if you've got a brand, it's already crushing it, you already have plenty of traffic, and you're thinking, all right, it's 2025, do I need to be approaching anything differently when it comes to ads? I would say sponsored products should be the majority of your budget. Sponsored brands, not that much, just like static banners. I think sponsored brands, it's important to have some budget for it, but it shouldn't really, I don't think it should be definitely not more than 20% of your total Amazon ad budget. I think most brands are between 5 and 10% goes to banner ads, like what you got on the screen there with the Liquid IV. So majority of sponsored products is that Amazon is search find buy platform. And if you're an established brand, you need to make sure that your product is searchable, know your rank between organic placement and paid placement. So if you're keep going with the door stopper example, if you're an established door stopper and when people type in it, door stopper, you rank organically number 12, that's not good enough. Most people buy in the top 5 products, right? So you need to have some paid to be able to scale if you're not ranking organically. If you're down at the bottom of page 1 or, God forbid, page 2 organically, then you need to have some paid and you need to make sure that you're showing up top of search to get some of that volume. And then video should still be a decent part. A good way to have some of that search results page dominance as an established seller. Not only do you show up with the sponsored product placement, and maybe you got a banner on that term too, hit the video as well. Make sure that no matter where a customer is scrolling on that page, you're hitting them with an ad and you're getting coverage. So video should be a part of the strategy. And then a part that's like not as important for a brand new brand is retargeting. and that's more of a sponsored display and DSP. And if you're an established seller, you should be incorporating that in the strategy. It's not the number one thing. Sponsored products should be your main budget, but display retargeting, especially if you're a high priced product or consumable. So, like the subscriber to your product, you want to have some of those campaigns set up. Is if they purchased it in the last 90 days, hit them with that. If they viewed it in the past 30 days, you're a high priced product, hit them with that, right? Having some of those strategies built out as well starts to improve the overall tacos. Display and DSP is a little tricky because it's not a purchase-based attribution model. It's a click-based attribution model, and so you don't get a perfect visibility of what's the profitability of a sponsored display or DSP ad. And sometimes the numbers can be a little misleading. So I just anyone who's doing DSP or doing sponsored display, look into how it's attributed and how Amazon calculates the ROI, because oftentimes it can look a little bit better than it actually is. So when you start with a DSP or you start with a display, look at how it impacts your overall business profitability before you were running it and then when you're running it. And that gives you a good idea of whether it's worth it or not for you to do any of that more challenging models to attribute. Same thing with OTT video ads. Like, look at the halo effect to understand it and measure the performance. So I think those are really, really important to do in 2025, but making sure that the strategy is still very, very conversion focused. So sponsored product, you know exactly the performance and the ACOS. Same thing with video, and then having a smaller piece of the pie go to some of the remarketing, some of the off Amazon targeting ads. I would say keep that, you know, probably a quarter of your budget or lower. Yeah, the conversion model should really be the priority of your ad budget.
What stood out to me is what you said at the beginning is test and see. And so that's what I would definitely say if someone asked me about advertising on Amazon or any platform. Marketing is about test, 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 keep what's best. So no matter what anyone says, this is what I would tell a friend. No matter what anyone says, no matter what they say, no matter what strategies you've seen, nothing matters in marketing until you test it and evaluate it and see what works for you. That's marketing. I can't say, even if I know your product exactly, I can have suggestions. Marketing is about test, 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 keep what's best. So to summarize what Dave said, do all that stuff. You're going to test and you're going to adjust and you're going to test and you're going to adjust and you're going to test and you're optimizing and you're adjusting and testing and optimize. All the types of ads. Sponsored products, sponsored brands, videos, and then if you're established, do some DSP, do some retargeting, do some DSP, do some brand tailored promotions. Get in here. You have all these new tools. You have audience segments in your list, potential new customers, at-risk customers, promising customers, abandoned cart, high spend customers, recent customers, repeat customers, brand followers, top tier customers. These are all relatively new tools that you have at your disposal. I'll back up and say what I would tell a friend or someone that we met at the bar, or, oh yeah, I was going to tell this story. Me and Tay were at the bar on Saturday and talking to this guy, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I just launched a coffee startup, sparkling coffee." I was like, "Oh, I have a Amazon marketing agency. We specialize in like CPG companies." He's like, "Oh," and what he asked me was, "Question for you: what would you say is the biggest key to success in today's crowded market of CPG brands?" And you know what I said? This ties into our intro about evolution. I said, well, you know, Malcolm, that's his name. Shout out. I said, in today's world of high competition, every platform is more competitive in 2025 and in the 2020s. You go to 2010, and every platform was kind of new. YouTube, Instagram, Amazon. Now in the 2020s, YouTube is more competitive. Instagram is more competitive to get organic reach and traffic. Amazon is more competitive to get organic reach and traffic. So what does that mean? Whether you're a YouTuber or you're an Instagrammer or you're a seller, it's the same thing. We are all trying to do the same thing. We're trying to get our product, whether that's a YouTube video or an Instagram video or our product. There's way more players in the same amount of screen space. And the same thing happens in sports. 50 years ago to now, how much better the athletes are and how much more severe. What I'm saying is you just got to be better. 50 years ago compared to today, you got to be just way better basketball player to make the NBA. The players now are ridiculous. Just the level of talent. And in the 2020s compared to the 2010s, you just have to be that much better of a YouTuber to grow a following. You just have to be that much better of a content creator because there's just more competition. You just got to be that much better of a basketball player if you want to make it to the pros. And so on Amazon, it's the same thing. You just have to be that much better if you want to make it to the top of page one. And you just have to be that much better if you want to make it into Whole Foods, into retail. And so what is the secret? There's no one specific thing. You just gotta everything needs to be fucking better. Better branding, better product. You can't just be average anymore, right? I'll use myself as an example as a YouTuber. I consider myself your headphones good?
Yeah.
I consider myself a very average YouTuber. And in 2016, I started my travel vlog channel. And I would just put out these vlogs, nothing crazy, but I would use the keyword digital nomad living in Vietnam, living in Thailand. And the views would just come in. But now I do that. There's no way I'm getting there's no way an ordinary average product is going to get distributed to the masses. 2015 Amazon products. You could private label a garlic press and you could make money. Out. So the world has evolved. This is evolution, which means it's kind of a survival of the fittest. Everyone is getting better. Everyone is getting better in sports and content creation. If you want to stand out, you just got to be better. And so that's what I told him. And I patted him on the back and I said, now you go for it, kid.
It's true.
No, there's my Gary Vee rant for the day. I mean, he would probably say the same thing. And so what Gary Vee says is, he sees the same thing, obviously, and he pushes the organic social. And so, I was talking to this kid, Malcolm, and I was like, what is your main focus? And he's like, social media. Yeah, no shit. Every business in this day and age is a social media business because we live in a social media economy. I don't care whether you have a real estate agency. I don't care whether you have an Amazon agency. I don't care whether you have a CPG coffee company. I don't care if you have a supplement. I don't care if you have a yoga studio or a tractor salesman store. If you want to grow your business in the 2020s and beyond, you need to be on social media if you want to really win. And so that's a whole can of worms, whole can of worms. But anyways, I thought I would throw that in there because that's, there's probably lots of CPG brand owners watching this. That's how I think. So to recap, everything needs to be better. Okay, Riley, fucking got it. Jeez. Uh, tell me the tips and tricks and hacks for Amazon. Okay, what are the like? Is there any cheat codes? I mean, zooming out, the best product wins. But zooming in, yes, there are some hacks, and I'm going to share with you what I think is the one of the biggest needle mover hacks, which means smallest investment for the most profit, smallest investment for the most ROI. And I'm going to tell you what that is, and that's Amazon video ads. Why do I think that? Because I think 99% of brands on Amazon suck at video ads. Why? Why do brands on Amazon suck at video ads, Riley? Well, I'll explain to you how I think and why that is. I think it's because, like, I'm wondering with it. I think it's because Amazon is not a video first platform. And so you either have the brand managing Amazon in house and they're not video experts, they're not video advertising experts, or you have an Amazon agency managing it. And they're not video ad experts. They built their career as PPC Amazon people.
Mm-hmm.
And then several years ago, Amazon launches video ads. And you have all these Amazon marketing people, and they're not necessarily video advertising creative professionals. Now, if we're talking about brands that have built their whole brand on Instagram, yeah, they built their whole brand on Instagram, which is a video platform, right? So Shopify marketing agency, they specialize in video ads.
Mm-hmm.
That's their wheelhouse. But you come over to Amazon, and I see all of these horrible Amazon video ads. And I'm like, that's an opportunity. So basically, to sum it up, I'll actually go to my whiteboard here. Let's go over to my video ads masterclass, and I'm going to show you what makes a good versus a bad video ad over here on the whiteboard. By the way, you can download and access this whole whiteboard, mural board for free. See the link below. And so basically, a good Amazon video ad, in my opinion, is what I call stupid simple. The point of a video ad is first to get their attention. So I'm going to use this desktop example. The first is to get attention. And so I just typed in hangover prevention. I don't like that video, but okay, we'll use this as an example. So ZBiotics is paying for this video ad right here. Now, as a shopper, this is what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing the thumbnail. So just think of it like a billboard. Right? Think of it like a billboard. Did they get my attention enough where I want to click the video? That's the first mission. Get their attention and get them to play the video. Okay, this is on desktop. On mobile, it autoplays. That's a different thought process, and I'll get to that in a second. So, did ZBiotics get my attention? No, because the thumbnail is, I don't see anything cool in the thumbnail that will pique my interest. So you want to make sure the thumbnail piques the interest. How do I choose the thumbnail on Amazon Video Ads? You can't. It automatically chooses it from around the 5-second mark. And to skip to the end, I have made over 100 Amazon Video Ad templates, which you can use. There you go. We added you, Dave.
There we go.
Oh, boom. So I've been working on this probably for the past year. My mission is I want to find the MVV, the MEV, minimum effective video ad. So I've been using Canva to create stupid, simple, yet effective video ads, and we sell this in our digital product store, amazingmarketingco.com/products, for a very reasonable price, I think. If you just want to copy and duplicate these and use some of these stupid, simple templates. My favorite framework is the split screen 50/50. So some sort of image or video on the left, and then big bold text on the right. Let me show you another example. So for this client, they have a creatine gummy. And I looked around their photos and I looked for some of their best photos. So I put a photo on the right and I put some big bold text, sugar-free fire. And this is literally a moving image. These work for video ads because, again, it's just a billboard. It's the same thing as a static image ad, right? Someone just asked about static image ads. That's funny in the comments. Akash, he said, dude, have you tried static image ads? The way that I think about it is a Amazon video ad is just a moving image. And so what I do with all of my templates is make sure that around the 5-second mark works for a thumbnail. So where can I find a good example? So that's why I like huge text on the right, because it will always be there. So on the thumbnail, you're always going to see that huge text.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing is make sure it's USP focused or us versus them focused, or we are different focused, because Amazon, as Dave mentioned, is a try to find the best one platform. So that's why I wrote for this client such a big difference. This will be on the thumbnail and this will be on the first 3 seconds. So the first 3 seconds is important because on mobile, people are scrolling and it autoplays and they're going to see the first 1 to 3 seconds. So the first big text is, it works for a thumbnail and it works for the first 3 seconds. And then optionally, how I think about it is you can just stack on additional slides after that. For here, I went and found some UGC, and what I did, and I have another version here, is you want to show the product close up if you can. Now we're getting into pet supplement specific. But, and then this is just what I do. I go in here, and here's another example of, this is a great example for this client of ours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The thumbnail will be auto-chosen somewhere around here. All I care about is it's seeing, people are seeing not your average brain booster. So they're like, oh, not your average? It piques their interest. So what do you mean not? Okay. So they're claiming they're above and beyond. They're claiming they're better. Let's check them out. My job's done.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why my videos are typically short, is because the video ad is not to like explain all the product in detail. The video ad is just to get the attention right here and get them to click and visit the listing. And the listing is where they'll learn about the product and hopefully they'll convert them to buy. So that is my video ad philosophy. And in this Miro board, I reviewed a bunch of ones and noted why they're good, why they're bad. For example, this one is good. Let me see if I can play it right here. You won't see the audio, you won't hear the audio, but you don't need it. So I don't even need to play further than that, because this brand, Grunz, they just put on Amazon, which is traditionally a video that will be on like Instagram. That's like a performance marketing video ad. Pattern interrupt. She got spotted in her face. It's like, oh, what the fuck? Now you're sucked in, and now they're going us versus them. So if you notice, they're talking about us versus AG1. And they don't even do a great job of it. It's kind of hard to tell that. But the guy is showing, hey, here's AG1. They suck. Here's us. We're good. But the way I think of it is the details don't matter. What matters is it got the attention enough to get people to click. We were just trying to get the click. It's a moving billboard. You click, you visit the listing, and then hopefully your listing seals the deal. So these are the good things about it. These are the bad things about it. You also do want to make sure that you have captions on because a lot of people are viewing on their phone and computer without audio, probably the vast majority of people. So that's another huge thing. 99% of brands are not doing. And so, anyways, you guys can see all the details in my Miro board and in my ultimate guide video on video ads for all the details. But I hope this podcast just kind of communicated how I think about it. And the next step is like in any marketing, test, keep what's best. And so what I would do if I were you, if you have great video content, then great, use that. You know, I have the summary right here. Ultimate guide to video ads right here. I have so much fucking shit. Okay. But anyways, if you have great video content, sure, test that. Let's say you have a professionally filmed commercial, it's horizontal. Sure, just test that as a video ad. Test another variation where it's half that and half some copywriting billboard text. Test another variation with a UGC highlights compilation. So every product is different. Test, keep what's best. Take it from the Instagram advertising experts on this one. You see Instagram ads for products. I mean, whatever you're into, but you've probably seen plenty of Instagram ads for products. It's blah, 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 blah. They're so creative, right? Instagram ads people are, those dudes they specialize in video ads, but that expertise hasn't made its way over to Amazon. So that's why I think this is the biggest needle mover. And I will share with you 2 case studies, which happen to be both my product. So my product is Sticky Wallet. Our video ad is one I've filmed. It makes up the lion's share of our sales, our video ad. For years, it just camps there on page 1 for Stick on Phone Wallet. And it's just, it shows it in use. Now, it's a little bit different strategy than what I'm talking about here. It obviously, if your product is something that needs to be shown in use, like a Stick on Wallet, and like the physical features of it, then obviously show that in the first few seconds. But I'm talking about mainly like for a supplement, you can't really show. Anyways.
Yeah.
So for my product, the video ads crush, and also for my mom's product, it's actually right there. We have a seat sleeper in that blue bowl right there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you one.
Cool.
This is my mom's product, seat sleeper. Let's open it up. Anyways, I filmed a simple little video of this, putting it on the plane headrest, putting it on me, and we launched it as a video ad, and her sales nearly doubled. Nearly doubled.
That's right.
Yeah. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, this was like she was texting me, she was like, "What are you doing?" Well, our sales are higher than ever. And it was like Diana simply turned on a video ad. And this was actually like my brother was managing it, and then they came and gave it to us to manage. And then we turned it on, and it was just, wow, nothing fancy. It just showed it in use, right? Because people were scrolling, they're searching for the big keyword, travel pillow. And then they scroll down and they see this thing that's totally different in their feed, not in the feed, but in the search results. They're like, what the fuck is this strap on, the headrest type of thing? They click it, then they read the reviews, and then they decide to buy it. So it's just a get the attention billboard type of thing. Could you do a static ad through brand ads? Sure. But in my mind, you might as well do a video ad. Test both. Like the sponsored brand headline. Yeah, sure. You can do a static image here, but you can also do a video here. So test, keep what's best. If you want to follow some of my templates, you can get those. But I would say to a friend that video ads are big opportunity on Amazon right now. Whew, okay, I ran over. Gary V out. Riley V out.
Were you seeing my camera was shut off on your end?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I just touched this thing. I think maybe this was getting unplugged.
Could be the cords.
Yeah, there we go. That's working now.
Anything to add on any of that, or any other tips, tricks, hacks folks should know that are for the 5 people still here?
I think if I were like a beginning seller, or I was even an established seller, and then I'm thinking about video, because the main question that people ask is, okay, video ads are important. How do I get one? How do I make one? I think it's kind of a good question, and there's a few different ways to go about it. It's like you said, you could just whip one up. You made one yourself in Canva using the templates. And in order to test, you have to kind of test a few different formats, right? One is the UGC style, right, where you have a creator kind of has social proof, it's someone that's a customer using the product, and then there's like the professional style ones, where you see them in the supplement world. I don't see them as often, but like in the kitchenware world, for example, it'll be a professional video shoot in like a model kitchen, highlight product, text overlays. I actually don't see those perform the best. In my opinion, those are the hardest to produce, but don't actually perform the best. The ones that I've been seeing do the best lately is what you're talking about. Kind of UGC style or billboard style, which I like that. That's a good way to describe it. It's like a billboard. Those are easy to create in Canva, like the split screen side by side. Yeah. So if I were a seller, there's a couple ways that I would go about getting UGC content. One, you can work directly with a creator, like find a creator in your niche. They're like, hey, you want some free product, make a video, pay them a couple $100, whatever. Or the tool that we recommend, I saw you posted it on LinkedIn, or I think it was on LinkedIn today, with the Join Brands. That one's pretty easy to use. Couple $100, get a video, and shop around for which creators you like. I don't think that a professionally shot multi-$1,000 video ad is a necessity right off the bat, because you need to test out a bunch of different keywords, a bunch of different copywriting. So like this video, for example, the go-to night cream, I would rather test that than have 5 different versions of this ad with different copywriting phrases on it. And then go and drop in $5,000 for a videography commercial. I think that should come further down the line into your launch.
Yep. So yeah, that's kind of the idea with these templates. Is step 1 is just use whatever you have. Go split screen. On the left, put whatever you have. So our client here, he already had these videos, so I stuck it on the left. And on the right, I put some big, huge billboard copywriting. This is just copywriting skill. This is writing and advertising, writing a billboard skill. And people that write billboards, like that go up in New York City, like for big brands, I wonder how much they get paid. It's like,
no idea.
You just gotta put your copyright hat on, or use ChatGPT or whatever. But I didn't use ChatGPT for this. I've been doing this for a long time. My go-to night cream. But the cool thing is, I didn't get this from my own brain. I just listened to what he said, and he said, "This is my go-to night cream." And so people are going to be scrolling Amazon. They typed in night cream or whatever, and it says, "My go-to night cream." Go-to. This authority guy is saying it's his go-to. Let's check it out. And there's some other examples of copywriting. And that's the other cool thing about these templates too, is it's not only the visual, it's like you can just copy my headlines. I've been thinking for a year about good video ad headlines, right? For this one, this ad would be targeting the keyword retinol, which is a huge keyword.
Yeah, huge.
People don't know about bachukiol. And I put my copywriting hat on and I just said retinol over better than bachukiol. That's all you need, because people are going to be scrolling, they're searching for some retinol, and then they go, wait, bachukiol better than retinol? Is that? Click, piqued my curiosity, got the click. Another one, my go-to night cream to reduce wrinkles. It's just a common keyword, night cream to reduce wrinkles. So I wrote my go-to night cream to reduce wrinkles. So this is another philosophy of ad copywriting on Amazon. Think about the main target keyword, and call out to that in the copy. So our target keyword is night cream to reduce wrinkles. So you put in huge text, my go-to night cream to reduce wrinkles. It's exactly what's on their mind, exactly what they just typed in. So your advertising manager can make sure that they test that ad versus that exact keyword that's on the billboard. This is another format. You can put huge text on the bottom. If you have horizontal video and the video needs to be landscape, you can put some huge text on the bottom. This is another format. Me and Dave did this a while back.
Yeah.
We put our brains together on a previous episode, and we made this ad for this brand live on the spot. So what we did is we looked at their social media, and we looked at what is their best UGC content, and it was clearly this one. It's a great script, and he kind of just sells it. You can't hear it now. But we were thinking, okay, how are we going to sell this toilet paper spray on Amazon? Okay, this is a very key lesson about Amazon. It's especially if you're a thing where you need to educate people. So you need to think about what is the biggest keyword. So the biggest keyword for this target customer is actually flushable wipes. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to be the alternative to that. They're trying to say, spray your toilet paper, wet wipe alternative, right? So no one is searching for wet wipe alternative, right? Because they would have just searched. I mean, maybe some people are, but the mass market. That's the word. You want to get in front of the mass market, because Amazon is the biggest store in the universe as far as we can observe. Maybe there's other bigger stores in other galaxies. Maybe we might not find any in our lifetimes. So Amazon is the biggest store in our galaxy as far as we can observe. And flushable wipes is a huge keyword. So we look at flushable wipes, and guess who's at the top? There's Dude Wipes. And so Dave came up with this genius headline: "Stop with the wipes, dude. Spray instead." So the idea is, again, this is a billboard. This is a moving billboard. People are going to be scrolling on flushable wipes, scrolling, and they see this big "Stop with the wipes, dude. Spray and save." What are you talking about? It just gets the attention, gets the click, and then they're hopefully maybe potentially sold on the idea of switching to spray instead of wipes. Here's another idea. Just a meme. Competitor, bad. Us, good. Stupid, simple, can be understood in 1 to 3 seconds. And then also we added some credibility as seen on Shark Tank there. So that's how you should think about your video ad. And it's also how you should think about Amazon is think about the biggest keyword, the biggest potential keyword that you can potentially go after. And the way that I describe it a lot of times is we are trying to steal as many sales from your number one the big guy. I've said that many, many times on calls. Like the way that I think the game that you're playing, Mr. and Mrs. Client, is you're just trying to steal as many sales from Element, for example, Element hydration package. They're the monster behemoth in the game. So we've had other similar competitors come in as clients, and the way that I see it is you guys are trying to convince people to not get Element and to get you.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. So how I would think as an advertiser and a creative and making an ad, I would have an us versus Element video ad. That's how you're going to tap into that mass market. So it's putting yourself in the shoes of the shopper. They just typed in hydration packets. They're going to see Element with their zillions of reviews. And then they're going to scroll down a bit, and then maybe they see your video ad, and it says us versus Element. Here's why. I just copywriting off the top of my head. Want to see why we're better than Element? On the left side. On the right side could just be a picture. Doesn't matter. They got their attention because it says, want to see why we're better than Element? Yes, they do. You just got the click. You're welcome. That's how I think about it. These are ninja Amazon advertising tactics. Most Amazon experts are not really thinking along these because, again, Amazon is not a video first advertising platform. It's mostly just sponsored products, bid on the keywords, and then your sponsored product gets advertised. But I think there's a lot of potential if you can really take the skills and strategies of Instagram ads and billboard advertising and bring those over to Amazon. I think there's potential, and we're starting to see good results from these. I'm waiting, and hopefully soon we will have an official case study with numbers with some of our clients with these. All I can say is we're seeing good results, but I don't want to post anything because I don't think it's enough data. But it's good so far. Woo! What else is on the mind, Senor Dave? Senor David?
Let's see.
Oh, we do have a comment. Hey guys, I'm working on launching college sticks for dogs in the UK marketplace. Love that. The market's very strong in the US. Any suggestions on how to stand out with imagery, etc.? We just had a pet supplements, a dog supplements client kick off with us just today in the UK. And to stand out in terms of imagery, I can absolutely help you with that. Why do you ask? I have the whole ultimate guide for you. So yeah, definitely download this Ultimate Profit Playbook for Subscribe and Save brands, and you can access it right here inside of Miro board. And then just zoom in right here, and I'm going to have my whole creative profit playbook right here. So it goes over why having a 10 out of 10 listing is important, and then all of my SOPs and playbooks for messaging the Amazon conversion pyramid. Starts with a great product, then your branding, and then your Amazon listing, which has great photo shoot, messaging, videos, PMA Plus. So I have it all here, so I would direct you to this right here. If you follow this, you will be ahead of 99.9% competition for the reasons I said. Because most Amazon experts and brands are not kind of thinking out of the box like I do, thinking like a scientist like I am. So do that. Do the video ad strategy that I just talked about. So find the big player in your space, test the video ad that's going against them, and yeah, follow it to a T, and you'll be off to the races. So what I would recommend, in short, I actually have the whole tech stack right here. I would recommend, whether you go through our creative team or any other creative agency that specializes in Amazon, that's key. Make sure you follow what I say in terms of the conversion and the creative strategies. And invest as much as you can in the creative. So here's our team. So honestly, I would just say, have our team do it. It's going to be a no-brainer ROI. The way I see it is you can either do it yourself, bad idea, unless you're like an Amazon design expert, or you can outsource it to an expert. And don't do like some Fiverr cheap shit. You're going to be shooting yourself in the foot because it's going to be shit. What you need is really two people to make your Amazon listing great. You need a professional copywriter to dial in the messaging and the us versus them, to write the comparison chart, to write the headings, to write every single infographic, to think like he's in the customer's shoes. Someone like Tom who wrote this, I love this headline. It's complex, using bigger loads, stronger organisms, one skill. Tom wrote it.
I've never seen that before. Yes. That's fantastic. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Gentle, high absorption human that actually works. Tom's a great copywriter, and so you need a great copywriter, and you also need a professional graphic designer to make it beautiful. Tom happens to be both. It's hard to find. Trust me, I've looked. So this is our creative agency. Just have our agency do it. And then in terms of photography, what would you say what is our label for photography? What would you say currently?
High res.
Recommended tools or agencies. Or do we have a preferred partner right now for photography, or what? Or should they just reach out to us for a recommendation?
I think Sunas is good.
Cool. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Where's Suna? It's not on here. Oh, they're not on here. But let me show you right here. Suna.co. Creative at scale for brands with standards. Good copywriting right there. So have them do your photography. Have us do the copywriting and graphic design. But before you do any of that, you need to have your branding done. So I'm assuming you already have your branding done. If not, you need to go through a branding agency to get your whole brand created and making it look like $1 million. Like these guys. These clients are just onboarding with us. So you need to look like this or better in order to succeed. So make sure your website and your branding looks like this or better. This is what I call modern 2020s minimal, flat, bold branding. That's what this is. Element and all these brands are following this kind of look and feel. So make sure your branding looks like $1 million, and then make sure you get professional photography, and then make sure you have an Amazon design agency create your Amazon listings. That is exactly how you stand out, and then follow all my advice on us versus them focus, USP focus, and all of that. Thank you for the question. Gosh, man, I love this brand. This is great. Did good in their branding. Cool. Let's see if we have any more comments in the chat. Anything else? Any other tips, tricks, hacks that you would say to a subscribe and save brand, Senor Dave?
Conversion rate wise, it's good to mention subscribe in the product listing. So yeah, whether it's in your image stack, in your A+ content, or both in your copy as well, it's important to remind people that they should subscribe and save. Not only that, putting a coupon on there can help as well. Yeah, it's good to have everything engineered towards moving people to subscribe and save as much as possible. Because as we know from just data, if you look at simply the data of how many people redeem a coupon when there's a coupon on the listing, it's not 100%. So there's people that are literally forgetting to click for free money. Think about that. Like when you put a coupon on your listing, clip for $5 off, and you don't see a 100% clip rate of people that are visiting your listing and they just buy it at full price. That shows you there's probably people that just aren't realizing or aren't forgetting that they can go and click subscribe and save, even if they may want to. So the more that you can hit them and reinforce, hey, subscribe, save 10%, boom. If you're planning on buying this supplement ongoing, just hit the subscribe button.
What would you say as an amount for a subscribe and save coupon? So we didn't even get subscribe and save coupons, which is a whole other thing. Look out for our other guys on that. But in short, if someone is thinking right now, what should I do? What's the playbook for subscribe and save coupons?
What is the base? It's 5-10%. That's the base. That they do automatic. That's the base. I mean, you got to do something on top of that significantly. Yeah. I would say it might be good to do kind of a stair-stepper approach to subscribe and save coupons. Is for your first X amount of subscribers, you have it at 40%, for example, and then you get your next 100 and go down to 30, blah blah blah, and then normalize it. For a coupon, I would say, somewhere between 10 and 20 is probably healthy for a coupon. But most of the subscribe and save coupons are one-time redemption only, so you can go pretty aggressive because it's just on the first purchase.
Yep. I like to say 40. I like to say, because the reason is I see a good amount of brands doing 40. Not a ton, but I've seen plenty of brands doing 40. For example, ZipFizz right here. So a subscribe and save coupon is they get an extra % off only their first order of subscribe and save. So it's Amazon dangling the carrot, a little bit extra incentive to sign up for subscribe and save. All right, obviously, everyone wants you to subscribe, sign up for subscribe and save. But the funny thing is, if they cancel after 1 month, they get charged back and they pay full regular price. You can't just get a subscribe and save coupon. Same thing with regular subscribe and save. If you cancel before the second month, you get charged back. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So a lot of shoppers don't know that. So that's why test a super aggressive, as aggressive as you're feeling. I like 40%. Depends up to your inventory and your cash flow situation and all that. A lot of brands are doing 40%. And so that is how I'll clarify. 40% in launch phase. 40% in launch and push phase. Long-term cruising altitude, maybe not 40%, maybe 10 or 20. I see a lot of brands doing 10, 20, 15. But again, test. You got to test. So yeah, they're separate. Test 40, and then test 30, and then test 10, and then test 20. And your Amazon manager, your Amazon marketing manager or agency, us, we're testing over the next 2 years, and we're trying to find the sweet spot for your goals in your business. That's just marketing in a nutshell. But utilize subscribe and save coupons. It's a great tool to increase your sales. Here's another guy, extra 40% off when you subscribe and save. So definitely be utilizing that. And then for regular subscribe and save, the default is like 10% now and 15% on repeat deliveries. So first of all, make sure that is set up properly. And you can even test higher discounts on this. Again, test, keep what's best. Be aware of all the tools that you have. All right. How are we feeling, Senor Dave?
Good.
Anything else on the agenda today or things to add?
Let's see.
I would show just a couple of other things that you're going to get in the Ultimate Profit Playbook for Subscribe and Save brands. We have the $10 million scaling roadmap. Here's exactly what you need to do at every stage, from R&D, pre-launch, launch, build and repeat, optimize, expand, automate, and exit. Got my Hormozy for that one. 10 out of 10 listing examples, subscribe and save brand scaling roadmap. More great listing examples, video ad examples, storefront examples. Haven't built that out yet, but we have all of our Canva templates. We have the video ad templates. We have the gallery image templates. We have the storefront templates, 100 of them. We have the 100 premium A+ templates. So we've been building out Canva templates for everything else for you to enjoy for a very reasonable price. Or if you want to get the ultimate Amazon bundle, you can get everything, all of our playbooks, resources, checklists, management tools, sheets, flows, templates in the ultimate Amazon bundle. That's my goal, is to create the ultimate Amazon toolkit if you want to manage in-house. So if you're a marketing manager or if you're a brand owner, you can give it to your team. And it's basically our agency in a box. Everything we use to, maybe it's not a good fit to hire us, not the right time to hire an agency if you want to manage in-house, all the tools at your disposal. And special offer for the two of you who listen to the end of the podcast, just email me, Riley@amazingmarketingco.com. Say, hey, Riley, I listened to the end of the podcast. If you're interested in a special discount code for anything here. I listened to the end of the podcast and I'm interested in a special discount code, and I will send you a unique code. That's your growth just for listening to the end. Well, this was a good, how long was this? Over an hour.
Hour 15.
Oh yeah, hour 15. Awesome. Any parting words or things people should know, or on your end?
I think this Miro board is awesome. It's got everything. It's got everything there. Yeah, and the video ad templates it's the new thing that I think is so helpful. Yeah, it makes it really easy to create something and just follow that framework, and then test.
Test. We're gonna have to test out a new camera. I think that
Yeah.
the Osmo likes to shut off. It's not behaving nicely. But anyways, they saw your face in the beginning. All good. All right, sweet. To the three of you watching, or two of you watching, bro fist to you guys, and we will see you potentially from another country on the next episode.